Let's do a harmonic intro.
Harmonic convergence.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
But then it'll be off by a little bit, but that's okay.
No, you guys do it, not me. I was giving you an idea.
Okay. All right. You say something, and then Josh will say something, and then I'll say something, and then Derek will intro us.
Something.
Yeah.
No, wait, what?
Hey! That was it.
Oh.
That was
the
fucking
intro.
boring. That was so...
Alright, that's a wrap, folks.
Yep.
Wrap it up, go home.
We're looking at
All
a
right.
big burly slashGROUP today.
Yeah, there's lots of us on the podcast today. We got Jordan, as per usual.
That's me.
He does not do anything except for wait for me to do the podcast with him.
Yeah.
And then we have Sean, who has been on the podcast before.
Wait,
You may know him as Hearthstone Kid. And then also there's Josh, who's also been on the podcast before.
Yep.
Try your best to converge your voices this way.
yes.
And
Yes,
I'll try
definitely,
my best to completely not make too much noise during this part. Okay.
The behind the scenes is everyone except for me is currently cuddling at Jordan's desk.
Oh,
sharing
there's a
microphone.
lot of testosterone going on over here at the Jordan home.
It's
Is
very
that when
intimate.
elbows touch? Is that what testosterone is?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so today it's gonna be a kind of free for all, wild card kind of day.
We got a
'cause-
couple of subjects we could bring up.
Yeah,
There's nothing.
we're
I
gonna
wouldn't say there's anything super major that's happened in video game news as of
no,
recent.
not really. Not beyond like mind blowing information.
Yeah.
But there were a couple things, and I'm gonna pass the mic to you guys because you have more to talk about than I do. I'm
All right.
gonna sit here and
Who
listen.
would like to start?
Well, I can start us off with the topic if we haven't talked about it yet. I don't know if you guys have discussed the bit of controversy going on with Shadow of War and its little
No.
DLC debacle.
No, I have not.
No.
So they had recently released a DLC they'd be doing for a character who's based off of one of the developers that had passed away from cancer. And they were talking about all the profits from that would be donated to the family. But if you look at the really tiny print, that only applied in 44 of the states, and that's it. So any of the 6 states that weren't included and the rest of the world, they would have been profiting off of. It was some very shady stuff.
That's not very.
So here's my question: what states were left off?
Massachusetts, I wish I could remember them all. I'm assuming it was legal reasons that they had to be left off of that list, because it wasn't like the money was being donated to a charity. It was being donated to the family specifically.
To a family, yeah.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah,
That
so
is interesting.
a lot of people were obviously complaining about that, and now it's a little bit of not news because they just recently announced that like all the money I think would be that the DLC is just going to be free instead of donating money anymore.
Well, that's dumb.
Yeah, well, I think
Okay,
they
so-
got so much backlash for the way they were handling it that they
It's
just
just
went with the easy
it's silly
fix.
because you have this
Oh, that's
DLC.
not easy for the family.
No.
Yeah, you have this DLC that's was put out for a good cause. Granted, like you said, for legal reasons, I'm sure they couldn't take in donations from other countries, international countries, and I'm sure there were some states that had state laws saying that you couldn't sell a product and donate to a specific family and not an entity. So it's silly that now they're not going to be able to do anything for the family of a employee.
Yeah, I feel
With
like
such a tragic story.
I feel like a better fix would have been, for maybe the states that you couldn't donate and the countries that you couldn't donate directly to the family, if they were just like, well, we'll take any of those funds and donate them to like an appropriate charity or something.
That would make sense. I feel like that would be the easier thing to do than trying to fight through hoops to get this family. I mean, obviously they're trying to do it for the family, but if they can't do that, then I would think that the easier thing to do would just be give it to a general charity, perhaps one that the family was using, but that they were trying to get help from for their family member. But
Yeah.
I didn't actually hear about that story. That just came out.
I
recently?
had seen like some articles about Shadow of War, but I just assumed it was about the game and not about something like that. And I never played the first game, so I didn't bother looking.
Well, you did miss out, but
Yeah.
I can
That's
really,
what I hear, but...
honestly, the charity world in gaming is pretty large, by far. I mean, you guys, Derek, you do the Gaming for Good, right?
Extra Life, 2017.
Sorry.
Yeah, there is a lot of fundraising in the video gaming world. There is always the Games Done Quick, which happens a couple times a year.
Those are just fun
is
to
it
watch.
once a year or is it multiple times a year?
They have one during the summer and one during the winter.
I was gonna say
the summer
games
done
done
quick, and then they have AGDQ, which is
Awesome Games Done
Yeah, I think
Quick?
it's Awesome Games Done Quick, and that is during the winter, and also just recently, well, not super recently, but they did an extra event that was thrown together pretty quickly to fundraise for Hurricane Harvey. So they
cool.
fundraised some money for that.
Yeah,
that
right.
was a couple weeks ago when they had that event.
There's definitely families in need right now with all the hurricanes that have been hitting. One Blizzard had just done not too long ago was the proceeds. Well, although the proceeds didn't go directly to like relief victims, it was the Red Cross, which I've heard from. I'm sorry, not heard, but I've read many comments saying that I don't understand why Blizzard used Red Cross. Red Cross, doesn't give the full amount that they receive.
They're like notorious for withholding money for the company, and like the leader of the Red Cross makes something ridiculous like millions of dollars. It's like, yeah, it's a lot of work to run a company that massive, but if your company is supposed to be doing good for humanity, you should probably not pay yourself multi-millions of dollars.
Yeah, if you could not line your pockets, that'd be great.
So this is like completely off topic, and I'm really sorry to do this.
I love
it. Apparently, my phone is frozen. I think. Apparently, there was a big update to the Mario game, Mario Run.
Odyssey. Oh,
Mario Run on the mobile.
Okay.
And they added like new levels and stuff, and I was trying to play, but my phone froze. So,
that is unfortunate.
That's good. Yeah, but
this
that's
just in:
cool.
Derek's phone froze. Details at 11.
Damn iPhone and Apple fucking making my phone slow because there's a new one coming out. They want me to buy the new one.
Never.
I wouldn't doubt that that's something that they would do, but
no, that was something that like was verified that they did.
Oh,
yeah.
Like some college did research and they were like, "Oh yeah, no, they 100% do that based on like this data, blah 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 blah." So
I run my phone into the ground, then I get a new phone.
Yeah, I know you had the same phone for a really long time.
Yep.
That's why I was surprised when I saw your new phone. I was like, "Whoa, what is this?
What's this? What's this?"
Jordan has a phone. Yeah, so that's just, I mean, that's kind of cool that they are updating that because it was like $10 when it came out, and it was fun, but I don't think it was $10 fun. But the fact that they're updating it still is neat, I suppose.
That came out like beginning of summer?
Was it this? I don't even know if it was this. Was it this year?
Or was
I don't
it last
even remember.
year?
I 100% do not remember.
I mean, I personally, I didn't get it. But,
a lot of people didn't get it.
Did you guys?
No, I did not.
Honestly, I don't know. I feel like that was like first generation touchscreen phones were fun for the run games. I'm pretty much over them. What's new? It's got Mario. Okay, well, sorry.
Yeah,
that's
just
it's
Nintendo. That's what you're talking about.
I'm sorry.
That's all we have. That's all we have here at Nintendo. All we can do is give you Mario.
What about Pokemon?
In a dated format.
Donkey Kong. You got.
Oh, you want Donkey Kong Run?
Literally, like the
Donkey
entire
Kong
Nintendo
Run would be
library.
really fun.
Metroid Run. Actually, I guess since we're on a Nintendo, or since we're talking about Nintendo now, I can say I really liked I haven't beat it all the way yet, but I really like Metroid Samus Returns on the 3DS.
What?
I know, right?
You like a game?
I said I was. Oops! No, go away! Stop talking.
Someone's playing advertisements.
I did say I did not like the parry system. By the way, Josh, are you a fan of Metroid games?
I have only played a little bit of them. Sadly, it's a series that I want to get into. I've been paying attention to it more recently, but no, I missed out.
Are you a fan of the Metroidvania genre?
Yeah, love that genre.
Now, Sean.
Yes.
You'd absolutely love, you have the entire soundtrack on your phone. You listen to it every day. You try to make me listen to it. You try to make Zoro listen to it. You love Ori and the Blind Forest.
Oh, yeah, that game's great.
That's a great game, yeah.
That is a Metroidvania game.
You know who else likes that game?
Oh, yes, that's right. Jesse likes that, too, yeah.
Jesse fucking loves that game.
I think Sean actually loves it more. He's got Ori and the Blind Forest pajamas he wears. Ori and the Blind Forest slippers.
That's correct.
Ori and the Blind Forest bath mats.
Now
I didn't even know they made that much merchandise.
Yeah, now
he made them himself.
Now that I've moved in, Jordan's seen all of that shop.
Yeah, honestly, Sean, I don't know if this would be necessary. I would say this would probably not be the entry to get into the Metroid universe, but
what are you talking about? Why not?
I would say no, only probably because of the parry system. It's nothing. There's no other Metroid game that's like this. So, we talked about this in a previous podcast because I think it came out last week. I think it came out last week, and I got a chance to play it a little bit, but I didn't play it as much as I did over the weekend.
No, I don't think you had the chance to play it last podcast.
I'm pretty sure I did.
I'm not sure you did at that point.
Oh,
I think.
Well.
No, you had talked about buying it.
Oh, that's right. Well, anyways, guess what? I bought it.
Jordan bought it.
I lent him my 3DS.
And yeah, I'm borrowing Sean's 3DS XL.
Whoa, fancy.
So I dig it. It's cool with the whole ability to aim 360 degrees or 180 degrees, whatever.
No, it's 360.
What? Well, I mean,
I messed that up last time. I thought that you could only do it like 180 degrees, but you can shoot down at the ground too.
Oh, okay, yeah. So 360 degrees from standing still. It's the first game that you can do that. At first I didn't like it because I've always liked just being able to shoot at an angle or down at an angle.
Yeah.
But being able to just completely aim wherever I want to shoot is nice, and it lights up.
Yeah, and have an arm that breaks.
Yeah. So yeah, there's the parry system in it, which at first I was not a fan of. It kind of slows down the game. It's something that every single enemy that you encounter, they do a little like animation that like I'm gonna attack you, and then you can go and you can parry them, and then you basically one shot them right after that. After you attack, if you don't attack, they're kind of stunned for a second, so you can run around them if you want to, or if you know that they're about to attack with that little attack animation, you can just jump over them. You can dodge them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's pretty fun.
You're in no way restricted to having to use the parry.
No,
like,
but
it
honestly,
just
makes
it
it much easier. They definitely focused this game around that. You know,
of course.
They haven't really, with any of the other Metroid series games, they've never focused like one like mechanic. I'm struggling to think of a game that does that, like in like a sequel, where they are like, hey, there's this new mechanic, use this. Oh, yeah. Batman Arkham Knight.
That's what I was about to say.
So, Batman Arkham Knight, you have the Batmobile.
And
you have to use it.
They
you have to use it. You have to use it. You have to use it. You're Batman. All right, cool. Yep, Batmobile mission. All right, what if I don't really want to? Batmobile. Too bad. Batmobile. Okay. So that was something that's kind of like what this is. Like, it's fun to use. It's easier to use, but it just like really forced on you. So it kind of changes up the way that the game used to be played in the previous genres. Not, I mean, I don't know necessarily in like a terrible way, but like just kind of annoying that they like shove it on you like that. But it's new, it's different, I guess. You know, I agree with like some of the scores I see, like 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10, or whatever.
It's a great score.
It's good. It's fun.
Yeah, I enjoy it. You've played more than I have now, just because the last weekend and this past week have been kind of busy for me, so I haven't really had the chance to sit down and play it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to definitely continue playing it. I have a one up on you, Jordan, because I have all the Metroid amiibo, so I get like bonus.
That is one thing. I didn't even look to see what they do. I mean, do you know what they do?
I think 3 of them give you an extra energy pack.
Oh, that's kind of lame. You know, that was one thing I was considering, because in some of the earlier fights, I really, really did not want to parry. So I would just try and shoot them down, and I'd just die. And I was like, wow, what the fuck? And I'd look around for, like, energy tanks and whatnot, because I feel like I should have had more than that at the time, but
yeah, I
guess that's why they gave them to amiibos.
So 3 of them do that. One of them does something else I don't remember. And then I think all of them unlock like a non-game thing, like a soundtrack or like
a gallery or something.
Like a gallery or something, yeah.
Okay.
But I fucking love the amiibo they put out for this game, specifically the new
Metroid
Samus
itself
one
is like jelly, right?
Yeah, he's squishy. I mean, it's just like a thin, like rubbery material that is bendy and squishy. It's not like silicone, like a silicone stress ball or anything, but yeah, you can like smush it, which is really cool. And then just like they're probably one of the better looking amiibo that have come out. The paint job is really nice on them. I opened them up at Robin's house, and her roommate are both art students, and her roommate goes, "Holy shit, those look like really nice fucking statues that you could spend like $100 on, just like mini version."
And then you're like, "This is a Nintendo amiibo."
Well, no, she knew what it was.
Oh.
They both play games.
Yeah, plastic DLC.
It's plastic DLC. But I like looking at them. I'm like one of those weird. I've always liked collecting things, so
me too.
This is just like Nintendo cashing in on my weakness.
All right, so now I believe Sean is itching to talk about the League of Legends update. Or there's a big update coming up.
Dying to talk about it. Well, they finally announced a lot of the changes they're going to be doing with preseason. So right now, the season is not quite over. They are doing Worlds, which Worlds is kind of interesting. I haven't actually gotten a chance to watch too much of it, but I think it's only week 1, but most of week 1's already over, I think.
What is Worlds? I literally have played 0 League. That's a lie. I played like a week of League of Legends in college, and that was my experience with it. So I know like nothing.
Yeah, a lot of the popular like competitive video games out there have some sort of competition, and Worlds. Well, yeah, Worlds for League of Legends is right now the sum of all of the play for this year for season 7, and so all the teams are now currently fighting it out in in Worlds, and there's there's a lot of the play on Twitch and things like that you can go and watch it. Unfortunately, for me, most of the time that they're showing it is at like 1 a.m. our time or things like that. Yeah, so it's really inconvenient times to go watch it, especially when I have to
Don't you love that shit?
be at work in like 2 hours after it starts or something like that.
Yeah.
But I know as far as for there's one of the North American teams that was doing pretty well so far, Cloud9. So I know they were
Cloud9.
Yeah, they were doing pretty well so far for this first week. I don't know a lot of the other things that have been going on with the competition, just because I haven't been able to follow it super well. But once Worlds is over, which it'll probably go on for about the next month or so. I actually haven't really studied the timetable or anything like that, but once that's over, the season is going to slowly come to an end towards, I think, around November. And then they're going to be moving into the preseason for Season 8. And with this, the big announcement that they've dropped is now runes and masteries are going to be combined into one. So right now, the system they have is they have masteries, which you earn by leveling up. So there's a level cap of level 30, and once you get to level 30, then you can play ranked. And every single level up until then, you get a mastery point to put in, and you set all these before you actually enter a match.
Derek, I'm looking at them right now, and just picture like a talent tree. It's like the old WoW talent tree.
Yeah,
like pre Cataclysm talent tree. You can put 5 points into some of these
and 1
abilities.
point into others. So, the mastery, like the runes and masteries, have been in place for League of Legends pretty much since the start. Although they've gotten changes for the most part.
This is like a really big overhaul. Then
this is pretty huge. For this has a lot of implications, and it's going to take a while to sort of sort this out, even for the pro players. But because the masteries have been more or less like this for the past, I think, like 2 years, and they've gotten some major overhauls in the past as well for the masteries. But the runes have more or less stayed the same, with a couple here and there getting buffed and nerfed every year. But now they are basically removing runes and masteries, and
they're just combining
them?
Or
not really removing, but combining them into one,
so
and it's something almost completely different. So the runes was just flat stats that you also invested, but you also had to pay for them with the in-game currency.
Think like I'm relating this to WoW only because they're both kind of RPG elements. Think of like reforging, kind of, it seems, because there's like Sean just said, they're like just like straight up stats. So like magic resist plus health, a critical chance percent, critical damage percent.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot.
There are a lot of runes. There's
my gosh.
There's also different levels of runes where
I'm seeing that.
The levels is kind of stupid because there's the tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 runes, where the tier 1 and tier 2 runes are just not as good. So you just basically
always want the tier
ignore them and then get the tier 3 runes. Like I believe it was a couple months back or earlier this year, they actually made the tier 1 and tier 2 runes almost free, which was kind of nice for newer players, because when you're a new player,
this is a big game.
Yeah, in the in-game currency, there's so many characters out.
I'm not being rude. I'll be right back.
Okay, but yeah, there were so many characters out that in League of Legends that you didn't really want to waste, or not really waste, but you didn't want to spend your IP on getting runes when you'd rather just get like a champion that you want to play. So the fact that now you don't have to spend IP on any runes anymore is kind of nice, especially for newer players. Which I don't know. It's just a better feeling knowing that you can just spend your IP on champions instead of just having to be like, all right, now I just need to get all these runes, because you're at a very, very large disadvantage if you don't have proper rune pages to start, and it's just such like a sink of your resources to start.
This change then, it seems to be focused to help newer players get into the game. Then you think they're going to try and do some kind of special event when they do this update?
I feel like that's part of it, but it's also just, I think, to switch things up and to fix things that have just kind of been there, because I don't know, that possibly could use fixing, because right now with the game, the masteries are kind of interesting, but the runes really aren't, because most of the time, say you're picking like an AD carry or a marksman.
I have no clue what those are.
So, yeah. Just the ranged damage dealer.
Okay.
The standard rune page is pretty much just going to be attack damage reds, or the marks, armor seals, which is the yellows, magic resist glyphs, and then attack speed quints, and it's going to be like that for every single...
it's a cookie cutter.
Yeah, a lot of the rune pages are just going to be very, very simple for like a particular type of champion, and now you have a lot more choices with how you're going to be setting it up, particular champions. So I haven't really gone into detail on a lot of the new changes, but because they're combining everything, there's a lot more choices you can make with how you're setting up a particular champion to go into a game. And I feel like it's going to also open up a lot of strategies, because there's some very interesting things you will now be able to do. I know one in particular that people have noticed is there's going to be a new point that you can invest in that allows you to change your summoner spell during the game, which you've never been able to do before. And so that, like, you're going to be selecting that at a cost of, like, early game damage or combat stats, but that could open up a lot of interesting strategies if you try and do, like, five players in the same team that all switch to Smite and then rush for Baron, which is one of the bigger objectives in the game, and then you just kill the Baron, and then you could potentially use that to snowball the game or things like that. So there's a lot of interesting things that are going to be coming up with this, and I don't think anyone really knows what is going to be best on certain champions quite yet, but there's a lot of theorizing what will be good and things like that. There's other changes too with the update that are interesting. I know they had a loot system, and they also had IP, and now they're just combining the blue essence and the IP together.
I gotta say, if they're gonna be making the game simpler, especially, League of Legends has been out for how many years now? Like,
it's been out
6?
for no, it's been out more than that. This is season 7.
7 years?
And it was out at least one more year before season 1, I believe, in beta. So it's been out for like 8, maybe 9 years now.
I gotta say, trying to go into an 8-year game, if there's I look at this and I already go, ugh,
Yeah, it's a lot to try and get into the game.
I look at this amount of runes and I go, ugh. So if they're gonna be simplifying it, all the power to them, because that's honestly, I don't play League. I'm sorry. I have played League in the past, probably 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago, but
yeah, that barely counts at this point. Just
because the game changed so much now. So but back then it seemed like it just wasn't my thing. I didn't really like MOBAs back then, anyways. Now I've played Dota 2 a couple times. And the one that I always just go back to, just because I like the characters on it, and I just understand the system. It's easy, it's simple. Is Heroes of the Storm, and that's something Josh as well can can comment on.
I've played League, and I do play Heroes, and I think the only reason I always go back to Heroes is because the matches are shorter, and I can't stand playing like an hour-long match of one game personally. But
the games in League they don't usually go to an hour, but they can. But that's usually very rare. They're usually around like 35 minutes long for most matches. I know the one last thing I did want to comment on is they actually removed the level cap in League, so now you just level up indefinitely. So that should be interesting, how they're going to be doing that.
They, I could say this now, they copied from Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, I know Heroes did something like that.
Oh my god. They did something first before League did it.
What? Blizzard never does that.
I know. They always copy. Yeah, as far as it goes for the talent system in Heroes, while you're leveling up, individual heroes have individual talents. There's no across the board talents for anything. There is no items. That's another thing. Sean, he said he doesn't get it. There's no items. Where's the items? Damn it!
But a giant part of the game is farming gold,
getting items,
because that makes you more powerful. So
that's
they're very, very different games. And the fact that taking that away is just taking away a huge part of League of Legends.
I feel like it's just more. What's the term? Not play style. It's just more.
You're talking Heroes?
I'm talking about Heroes. Yeah, it's more
team fight oriented.
Yeah, it's more. Honestly, objectives are very important on some of the maps. Some of the maps, the objective's not as important. But usually the tide of the game can change like in an instant from a team fight, and grinding is something that only really certain characters want to do just to complete their personal quests, which I guess you could sort of count those as being items, because you have to grind for those. A lot of times they require certain specific scenarios. There's certain ones that just require killing a whole bunch of minions or having minions die near them, and then there's other ones that you must hit a certain amount of heroes between an attack. I'm thinking of Alarak in particular. He has some weird quests. You gotta hit 3 heroes at the same time with this one ability, and you get all of his quests completed. I would say that some of the quests. I don't know if there's any other quests in League of Legends.
There's not really any quests, and I did want to comment. It does seem weird to me, just in general with heroes, that if you're pushing like a minion wave, you don't need to worry about you just attack them mindlessly. Whereas in League of Legends, if you're pushing a minion wave, you always want to be making sure you are getting the last hit on that minion, because otherwise you do not earn gold from that minion, and that's very, very important to get that.
I don't like that.
Yeah, but it requires more thought into pushing.
What if someone else came into the lane with you, and then they'll get, and they get the last hit, so you wouldn't have done anything?
Well, what you do in those situations is
you toxically yell at them, "You scumbag, kill yourself!"
You can do that, and people do tend to do that from time to time.
People have done it to me many a time.
But ideally, you want to try and put the gold on your carries. So you want to make sure that your damage dealers are getting the majority of the gold. And there's also 3 lanes of minions. So you have 3 people farming, and then you have someone farming the jungle. So there's 4 ways to earn income in the game, and then there's support, which you passively earn income.
All they do is walk around.
No, support does a lot. I do think that support is much, much more fun to play nowadays than it has been in the past.
Alright, I'm going to jump now. So, if you ever have any questions about League of Legends, I think Sean might be able to tell you a thing or two. I wanted to touch really quickly. It'll be both Derek and Josh will be the main voices of this because Sean and I. Well, unless you've seen it, have you seen it?
I haven't seen the trailer yet.
Okay, both
I never
Sean and
played
I
the
have
first.
not seen the trailer for it. I have not played the first game, Red Dead Redemption 2 by Rockstar Games.
I played Skyrim. Is that close enough?
Yeah, definitely. Same game. Same exact game.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I'm going to kind of pass the
Skyrim, you were a
mic
cowboy,
to Josh and you for just a moment, just because I can comment on like a couple of the pictures, I guess. I'm going to play I'm going to play it without sound right now, but
mostly the trailer, you learn some little bits of information. Like your main character, whose name I already forget, but obviously he's an outlaw.
He looks like the Marlboro Man.
I think the biggest thing that everyone takes away from this trailer is, holy shit, this game is beautiful. And
looks pretty fake to me.
It's fake news.
I'm very excited about
There's
it.
a 2 after the title. There's a lot of good games with 2 after the title.
Derek, anything to add there?
I actually, it's funny that you said, like, holy shit, it's beautiful, because one of the things I thought was, it doesn't look that great.
Really?
There were a couple, like, shots where I was like, this is, like, dated graphics, in my opinion.
Like, I think it looks great.
This is now. Do you guys know? Is this coming to what current
consoles?
gen?
Yep.
Yeah.
All it says is just spring 2018. So, I mean, is that something? Would they put that onto PC? Because I feel like it would look better on PC if they were gonna.
I know it's not on PC from what I understand at the moment.
Is the first Red Dead Redemption on like Steam or something?
The interesting thing is if they were to put it on Xbox One or Xbox at all, I think that would mean that it's automatically going on PC. No,
that would be more if it's an exclusive. I'm sorry, I'm putting air quotes around this. Exclusive for Xbox, because that's the thing that they've been doing since like this past year. Is all right. This is an exclusive for Xbox One and PC.
Yeah.
This is an exclusive for Xbox One, also coming to PC. So, I don't think this is an exclusive though, right? This is coming to PlayStation as well.
Xbox,
So it would be interesting because it's by Rockstar, and if it is not exclusive to one console, I could see them eventually porting it to PC unless they really don't want to do that. Because Red Dead Redemption's an open world. It's open world game, right? It's Grand Theft Auto Cowboys. Yeah.
Grand Theft Horses.
I mean, as it is right now, Grand Theft Auto 5 is still extremely popular, especially in the modding community and whatnot on PC. So I can only imagine if they were to put this on there, they'd just lose their minds.
Oh yeah, PC gamers would play this. Definitely. I mean, I would play this if it was
I would
on
make
PC.
everyone Macho Man Randy Savage. That's what I would do. Oh yeah!
That mod's great.
But yeah, I don't know. I played the first Red Dead Redemption, and I enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed it less than I enjoy like Grand Theft Auto games, but that's because I've never been a big like cowboy western fan, and they really definitely like riff off of like every stereotypical western thing you could think of.
Well, I mean, we're not in Western times anymore, so they have to draw from what we know of from the past.
Yeah,
We're in Westeros.
No, Sean, that's the wrong kind of West.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just wanted to touch on that because that just came out. That was a new trailer that just came out. I can't think of really any other trailers that came out. Oh, anyone have anything to say about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite?
Nope.
No.
I want to get it. That's it. Have we seen the sadness, though, that is... I feel so bad for anyone that spent money on the collector's edition of that game.
I did hear about this, actually.
So, when they advertised it, it's supposed to come with, I think, 2
Marvel
figurines.
vs. Capcom Infinite Collector's Edition.
And then
Get these awesome figurines.
Yeah.
But here's the catch.
Well, also, they were supposed to come with the Infinity Stones, and the images they released for those Infinity Stones looked really cool. And
Really
essentially what everyone got were, like, plastic Easter eggs glued inside of the box.
Oh, no.
And that was like a $200 collector's edition, and it's just not what they advertised at all.
Oh, that's so rough.
You know,
be so rip shit.
Honestly, I'd say 10 years ago, Capcom probably could get away with it, and no one would... I mean, people would complain about it, but they wouldn't, like... It wouldn't make, like, a headline or whatever. But when you do that... When you do that crap in this day and age, and you, like, kind of trick people into thinking that they're gonna get this awesome, cool thing, especially spending that much money, and you don't get an awesome, cool thing, no. Get out. Absolutely
The crazy thing is, Capcom also does pretty big collector's editions for, like, the Monster Hunter games. Mm-hmm. And the Monster Hunter games typically come with, like, a statue of one of the monsters, like the main monster.
Yeah.
And they're always really, really well done. So it's kind of mind-blowing that they would...
I just kind of feel like they can... I mean, I just from seeing the cinematics, or, like, whatever, the little cutscenes that I've seen, like, in the commercials, it just looks cringy.
Yeah.
Freaking Captain America looks like he's on superroids. I mean, every character that has muscles looks like they're on superroids. They just have no neck anymore.
Yep.
I don't get that.
So I've seen
Metroids.
There's no X-Men whatsoever because of
they're not part of the MCU, dude.
They're not part of the MCU. That's essentially that reason, and then I guess licensing stuff. They didn't want to fight for it.
They wanted to save money.
Which is absolutely terrible considering the whole fighting, this whole Marvel vs. Capcom fighting thing. Before that, it was Street Fighter versus X-Men, and before that, it was X-Men Children of the Atom. That was the very first of this kind of series of fighting games. These like types of fighting games. I mean, you could I guess go all the way back to like Street Fighter because that's essentially the same kind of model that they use for like the matches and the power up or the power meter and whatnot, blah blah blah. But for them to just take out the X-Men, which was like their origin, they've been in all of them so far. You know, every now and then there's been characters that they've dropped out or whatever, but just take out the X-Men completely. That's stupid. Wolverine,
no Deadpool either.
Wolverine was essential. Deadpool was amazing in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and they took him out. Storm, people liked her. Magneto was clutch. Mango Sentinel. Hello, Mango Sentinel. If you know that reference, that's fighting game. That if you've ever watched like fighting game tournaments, specifically with any of the Marvel vs. Capcoms, Mango Sentinel is where it's at. The color of the Sentinel robot is mango, and
so
he was awesome.
My hot take on this game is that when it comes to tournaments, people are gonna end up falling back to MVC3. And once Dragon Ball FighterZ comes out, this
everything
game
else
kind
is
of gets
just gone.
pushed into the...
Oh yeah, everything will be
it's not
dead
gonna exist
when Dragon Ball FighterZ.
It looks so good.
Yeah, and it's just too bad because they really, it feels like, dropped the ball on this game. I mean, especially considering like, you know, Street Fighter V had a rocky start, but it's a great fighting game, and I know this one people say feels good, but it also feels really dumbed down.
Yeah.
So
I played the demo for it, and I was not impressed. It also, I don't know if maybe it was just because it was the demo version, but it just had you jump around so much. Did you play the demo for it?
I didn't.
So in the demo, you play as like Mega Man, Ryu, Chun-Li. Mm-hmm. Like you play like as literally the entire
cast. It's
the
beginning of the story, yeah.
But like it makes you jump so fucking much. Like I don't know if maybe the matches are too short or if it was just too easy. Yeah. But that didn't make any sense to me. So it just wasn't a turn on. Didn't make my my gravy boil.
Speaking of Dragon Ball Z Fighter, or Dragon Ball Fighter Z or whatever the fuck it's called.
Dragon Ball Fighter Z, Derek. Go.
Sorry. When does that come out?
January.
Do you guys know?
Then.
That far away?
I know, I can't wait, but they've got
it'll
some
be worth the
great
wait.
character announcements that they've been putting out. Personally, I can't wait to just beat the crap out of Yamcha forever.
Yeah, that'll be nice. Did you, also on Collector's Editions, I think I saw a Collector's Edition that comes with, like, a really sweet-looking Goku statue.
Oh yeah, I'm getting that. I'm getting the Collector's Edition of that game.
Yeah.
100%. Just for that statue.
We can only hope it's not made of paper mache.
Yeah.
I think I saw there was, like, the statue, and it comes in, like, a steel book.
Yep.
And...
I don't really care for steel books. Whatever.
It's cool.
It's a book. It's
books.
steel. You could
It's just
steal
a
it.
case.
Speaking
They don't
of
even
fun...
call them steelbooks. Steelbooks are like the Best Buy like trademarked name for them.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I don't remember what else I was gonna say. So.
Well, just speaking of collector's edition stuff, recently they released the Dark Souls all 3 games soundtracks on vinyls.
Oh, sound.
Yeah, I saw that.
And they're like a limited release, and I totally bought that the day it was released because I can't wait. But that's me being
How much
a
did
giant
that put you
collectible
back?
nerd.
I can't think of the last. I like it when they give posters with pre-ordering games.
I don't.
No, I like figurines and stuff.
Those are like the one thing
That's like a cop-out for a...
like.
Yeah.
I honestly feel that those are like cop-outs for pre-order bonuses. Like, it's just such a cheap thing to do.
Sean said he loves to pre-order things. He loves to go into GameStop only to buy his games.
No, I never.
He always only has
pre-order.
physical copies of his games.
I almost exclusively pre-order my games through Amazon now, because as a Prime member you get a discount. We might have talked about this in the past,
Possibly.
but like a $60 game is $47.99 when you're a Prime member.
Oh, that's cool.
So
honestly, though, with the pre-ordering thing, only there is quite. We can go into this subject of DLC. I know where it will go with you, Derek. But
fuck you, DLC. I'll fucking rip your face off and
let's ask a fresh face what they think about DLC. Zorro. Oh. Sean, how do you feel about DLC? How do you feel it should be handled? What is the ideal DLC to you?
The ideal DLC would be something that, like, the game itself should be completely playable without the DLC.
Okay.
But the DLC should be, one, not super expensive. It shouldn't cost more than the game itself.
Agreed.
It should also definitely, like... It shouldn't just, like, add, like, extra skins or something like that. It should add extra content.
What about armor for your horse, though? That'd be so cool.
Horse armor.
If I was to buy a DLC, I wouldn't want it just to be horse armor or something like that.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You said if you were to? Sean, have you never bought DLC before?
I bought plenty of DLC. I mean... The
he
ideal
plays League of Legends,
DLCs
of course
that I
he
bought would be
buys
like
DLC.
I mean, I liked some of the Skyrim DLC.
Like horse armor?
Yeah, like the horse armor. I can't even remember the names of some of those. I know there was like the Dragonborn. There was
There's the island, the vampire one, and the houses.
Yeah, I really like the vampire one.
I forgot about the houses.
The houses was
House
so
DLC.
buggy. It was the buggiest thing in the world. But
Yeah.
you best believe I had every house you could have in that game back when I was playing it.
Oh, the houses were fun, but yeah, I do agree they were really buggy. Like, I don't know, like DLC shouldn't ever really be more than the actual game, but they should definitely like add like new gameplay or something. Like
I can't
DLC
think of
that
a
I like would
time...
be like the BioShock Infinite DLC, where
holla!
I would,
everyone here actually will give you a high five because we all like that.
Yeah,
I would say
that's like
that
Burial
a
at
solid
Sea.
DLC.
that is like the example of what DLC should be for a game.
Yeah,
is
I'd
the BioShock Infinite
Exactly. Like I've said this on the show. I don't know how many times. Like my take on DLC is that it should not be planned ahead of like the game releasing. Like you shouldn't know that there's DLC already in the works before the game comes out.
Yep.
That's fucking bullshit. If you have time to work on DLC before the game's out, put it in the goddamn game.
Well, the only time I think
Like-
that makes sense is like fighting games because like they're just adding people to the roster.
That's fucking
no.
dumb.
I'm not saying day one DLC. I'm saying the game's been out, and then like obviously we all expect them to add like 4 characters a few months later.
Yeah, I guess. But like with what the fuck was the game that Jordan? Oh, Injustice 2. He's like, oh yeah, there was like 3 characters that I can get, and it's like it was the day the game came out, and I was like, why wouldn't they just put those in the fucking game?
I agree with that.
Like, and I just feel that
day one DLC is just bad.
Day one DLC is bad.
Put it in the game. Like it's
pre-planned.
already done clearly.
I don't
so
think
just put it in the
should
game.
defend it.
And I hate expansion passes. Like I genuinely 100% believe that DLC should be like after the game is out and like the developer sees that it's doing well, they can be like, wow, thanks for the support, where we worked on something else for you, here it is, it's like more story mode or something like that. Like that's the kind of DLC I like, and that's the kind of DLC I'd get excited for and actually purchase. I've purchased so little DLC that you could probably take away my gamer card. Like it just bothers me so much.
Yeah.
I just because I know it's strictly a monetary thing. It's strictly businesses trying to get more money out of a game.
It's been ever since Call of Duty is, I think, the patient zero of the virus
Season
that is
Pass?
DLC. Season Pass, yes. Season Pass, Expansion Pass. So when that came out, it sort of made sense. So prior to the Season Pass, the game I can think of right away is like Gears of War. All right, so Gears of War game comes out with I don't know the exact number. Let's just say the game comes out with 8 maps. Okay, you got 8 maps to play on. Da 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 da. All right, well, a couple months go by. Hey, we're gonna add 2 maps to the game. Oh, okay, cool. Da 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 da. A couple more months go by. Hey, we're gonna add another 2 maps to the game. Oh, all right, cool. All right. By the way, we're charging for these. Okay, yeah, whatever. It's nice to have another extra 2 maps. All right. Da 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 da. So, Call of Duty, the way that they did it was, all right, we're adding 3 maps, and then there's going to be more later down the road, and then more down the road. Okay, pay us now for all of it.
Yeah.
But, all right, well, I mean, we haven't even seen the other ones yet. Like, how do we know that they'll be... What if they suck, Like,
and what if I'm not playing the game?
That's one of the things with... I guess with the maps, it makes sense, like, for a shooting game, but then a season pass for something like... Season pass... well, no, I don't know if I can say Destiny, necessarily, because Destiny also has story stuff that they implement as well.
I will never play Destiny because of the way it handles DLC, but that's just me.
I will also never play Destiny, but that's probably just because I'm a PC gamer.
Well, it's coming out on PC.
It's coming out on PC. Uh-oh, now Sean is gonna play Destiny. He has changed his mind.
In general, I don't really play too many
I'm like,
shooters.
I want to play Destiny on the PC, but I already have it on my PS4, and I don't want to buy it a second time.
I don't know why you bought it on the PS4, but... Or actually, I guess I do know why you did, but... Yeah, I'm waiting it out to really play it. I have it on the Xbox, but that's only through console sharing, and I have not seriously been playing with it. I'm level I think level 20 is the max right now, and I think I'm level 7, so I'm not seriously playing it until it comes out to PC.
I just like all my friends played on PS4, so that's why I got it on PS4. Like, I know a lot of the people that I play with don't have gaming rigs, so they wouldn't be able to play it on PC. Just not an option for them.
Are we talking about PC versus console?
Yeah.
Oh. Because I think we're a little divided over here in this room. On the left-hand side, we have Sean, who is very PC.
Yeah, PC Master Race.
He is very politically correct. He is very PC.
Yep. Yeah, political correct Master Race.
And then we have Mr. Josh on my right here, and he likes PC too, but he doesn't have one.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuck in that console game.
He's in the console game war, and I'm kind of in the middle because I have some console. I don't have some consoles. I have almost all the. I don't have a Switch. I have all the consoles, and my PC is pretty decent, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not nice.
And then there's Derek, who has a really nice PC and also has a Switch and also has a PS4 Pro.
You just don't have an Xbox.
I just don't have an Xbox.
You don't need an Xbox if you have a PC anymore. I wish I never spent money on that Xbox.
Pretty much.
Exactly. That's kind of not that was my game plan originally, because originally that wasn't the case with Xbox games. But now it's 100% the case. Like, why am I going to buy an Xbox One X?
You didn't have the PS3. You had the Xbox 360, right?
Correct. I had an Xbox 360.
Yeah, but you didn't have PS3. I'm saying, like, you went from Microsoft to Sony.
Yeah. So it was actually weird that I even had an Xbox 360, because I had the PlayStation 2, and then basically all my friends were like, Xbox 360 is the way to go. Xbox 360. So I was like, all right, well, if all my friends are on Xbox 360, I'm gonna get an Xbox 360. And then I was like, wait a minute, I fucking hate Xbox. Like, I don't like the controller layout. Something about it, like, really, like, messes with me.
That's the only reason I like it.
Derek was very triggered whenever he'd play Gears of War. That was his favorite game to play growing up.
No. And you know what? Honestly, I liked the first Gears of War, and then I did not like any of the other ones.
I loved that whole trilogy, but
Halo says what's up. Gears of War says what's up.
True.
I don't like.
I can't think of what else will you play it on Xbox together. Like in general, like, and I'm not saying like us specifically, but just like in general, what were the ones that we would play on Xbox?
Like exclusives? That's probably it, really.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Honestly, I don't remember what games I had on the 360. I had Soul Calibur. I had maybe a Need for Speed game.
Mortal Kombat 9.
I didn't even have Mortal Kombat. The thing is, like, I had the console and I had like 3 or 4 games for it, which is why I got rid of it, because I never used it. Because again, at the time, I had a really good PC.
Oh, see, I had a 360 only.
I played like PC games a lot, and then like I played WoW a lot, and that was kind of where my time. I was playing WoW a lot at that time too, so that's where a lot of my time went.
Sean,
but now I'm.
Oh, sorry. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, now I'm pretty divided. Like, I'm not gonna say that I'm a PC master race, but I do like having like a near high end PC every now and then. Like when I got my PC back in 2009, I built a custom PC from like the ground up, and it was like top of the line. And then I had that PC for a while, and then like 3 years ago I changed the graphics card on it, so it was like good again. And then I was like, fuck this, and I built another PC from the ground up, and like now it's not top of the line because I don't do like the dual graphics cards and stuff. Like, I just don't game that hard on my PC.
You don't really need dual graphics cards, though.
No, but you know, people are like, "Oh, if you're gonna like really game, you gotta like have the power to do it and blah blah." Yeah, so like, but I mean, I can play most games on like their top settings. I can't think of a game that I can't play on top settings right now.
I built my computer last year, and I can play every game.
I built mine last summer, so
I can play every game that I needed to on like the highest possible settings. I know probably the most recent game that I was really impressed by was Rise of the Tomb Raider, because I could play that on the ultra settings and it looked beautiful.
Yeah, that's a game that I want to try. It's funny that you mentioned Tomb Raider, because I with my PC before I updated the graphics card the first time is when the Tomb Raider reboot came out, and I got it on PC, and my computer was like, cannot handle it. And I was like, no, come on. Like, it's like that was like the moment I knew that my PC like needed to be rebuilt.
Yeah,
and then I upgraded my graphics.
For some of those.
I think you're talking about the first reboot, because that's the weird
the first
thing.
reboot.
Tomb Raider rebooted twice.
The one where you're like, you open up and you're like sliding down a river and you can like get impaled and shit.
Yeah, you're talking about the 2013 Tomb Raider, I believe. It was just called Tomb Raider.
Yeah, that's why I said like just Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
But my PC couldn't handle it, so that's when I knew I had to upgrade my graphics card. And then like a couple years after I did that, I was like, all right, well, there's other shit that's going wrong too, and like my RAM is dated and my motherboard or my CPU is dated, so.
Oh, your PP was dated?
Yeah, my PP was dated.
Oh.
Gotta get a new one of those every few years, or else
that's unfortunate.
You're gonna run into some issues.
Yeah, I was actually able to play that game just on my laptop, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Not Rise of the Tomb Raider, but...
yeah. I can... Well, on my new laptop, I can play the original reboot now, because I just got a new laptop.
I mean, it wasn't good.
This summer.
Like, I had problems with the frame rates and things like that, and I had to play it on a lot lower settings, but...
Yeah.
If it's not 100 frames per second, Sean doesn't play it.
I mean, I as long as it's 60 FPS,
I'm usually good with 60 FPS. Anything lower than 60 FPS kind of sucks.
I don't really notice it, but I notice it on games that have like really high detail. Like I don't really notice it in World of Warcraft.
Destiny
if it drops below 60. I don't know.
So so that's one thing with Destiny 2 right now currently on the consoles it's capped at 30 FPS.
Yeah, I don't see a big difference.
Sean was watched a little bit of the gameplay that I was doing the other day. Yes, I was playing in front of him. Okay, anyways, so he said that it looked pretty, and I agree. It does look very pretty, but when it comes to PC, it's going to be uncapped FPS. So it's going to look so much better.
But again, it's going to be capped, but you have to have the hardware that can handle it. I was trying to find like a Destiny 2 PC recommended specs. I'm just curious as to what they say are like the recommended specs for it.
I think Sean's PC will be fine for it.
Oh yeah, my PC would be fine for it.
Well, mine's
I can run anything on that, basically.
Their recommended graphics card is a GTX 970 or a Radeon R9 390, which is nothing. That's like what I had.
Mine will be able to handle that then.
No, yours would not be able to handle that.
What? Mine?
I don't think so.
Aww.
No. That's
I have the 1070, so
that's what I have.
Wait, what was the Radeon you said?
Radeon R9 390. Mind you, that's recommended. They do have a minimum requirement, which is like a couple families down on the list.
Yeah. What is the Radeon minimum requirement?
Radeon HD 7850.
No, I'm off by 150.
So I'm sorry, Jordan. Your computer will explode if you play Destiny 2 on it.
Jeez.
I mean, it probably won't explode, but it's probably just not going to run.
It's going to explode. Tell them they used to get a new PC.
That's alright. I want to upgrade anyways. Yeah. But I guess I don't know. I guess we didn't quite argue as much about PC versus console so much as just talk about PC and console. But
I don't think there's as much of an argument. I really don't understand the whole argument, to be honest.
That's because you're PC master race.
Here's my argument for both sides. PC,
we can get better FPS and resolution, and like we can play at 244 hertz, and like
that sounds like Sean.
And then console people are like, yeah, but I can just spend $500 and play every game that comes out because they're spec'd to play on my console.
Also, I can sit on my couch.
Shrug. Also, I can sit on my couch.
Yeah, in general.
And then there's the people who got the Switch who are like
easier.
Yeah. Oh yeah, consoles are 100% easier, which is why I get them, because there's definitely games that I think I don't want to be bothered like hoping my computer can run it, even though I know it can now. It's just like, and also it's like basically why I have Destiny on my PS4. It's like so many people have consoles, and not as many of my friends have PCs. That's
a multiplayer type thing. I mean, that's your player perspective. I know one of the games that Sean plays very frequently is Hearthstone. Yeah. And
oh yeah, I can't play that without my high PC specs.
I have to have top of the line graphics card for Hearthstone.
Wow, look at those card animations.
Yeah, I got a full screen that and everything.
Yeah.
Nah, honestly, to me, one of the things I like the most about PC is just the fact that you also have like the keyboard. So any sort of game that requires typing, you can do. Any sort of game that requires many different buttons, like for instance a game like StarCraft. You can't. There's no way you could make any sort of equivalent to StarCraft.
No. StarCraft 64 would like to say hello.
Yeah, but it's not going to be anywhere near the same. Like, you go to Korea, StarCraft is their religion, basically.
Yeah.
It's true.
South Korea.
South
Korea.
All right.
Korea,
Okay,
not
thank
North
you.
Korea.
Because I was going to say, I
not
don't
North
think
Korea.
that their supreme leader would allow it.
I'm talking about I'm not talking about best Korea. I'm talking about the other Korea. No, but you go there Korea. And like there's professional gamers that like they take it seriously.
What is it called?
They like live in houses together.
Yeah, you got to have a lot of actions per minute to be good at that game. That's a very, very difficult game. That's probably the hardest game I have ever played in my entire life.
I just feel like anyone that has over 100-something actions per minute probably doesn't have one action that they don't get. If you know what I'm saying.
The professionals there probably get all.
They get all the actions
the professionals.
Per minute? They get all the
professional
actions per minute there,
StarCraft players in South Korea are treated like professional athletes in the United States.
Yeah, they are professional athletes there.
They definitely get their fair share of button
Actions
mashing, if you catch my drift.
But like that, and like a game like that, there's no equivalent for like a console equivalent. There's also just other games. Like I don't think any of you guys will have heard of the game.
Consoles
fighting games I'd say are pretty console heavy for the most part.
I was gonna say like
controllers. I feel like you can twitch your fingers faster than you can fingers on the keyboard.
Not necessarily
for fighting games.
I don't think. Well, that and you can just hook up a controller to a PC.
Well, okay, yeah, but
you tend to see fighting games succeed more on console than anything, though. Is more what I'm.
If you're talking about certain games like Super Smash Bros. Melee, which has a pretty big competitive scene,
Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat.
I wouldn't be able to say the exact reason off the top of my head, but I believe it has something to do with like the frames that you're seeing on a particular. Like, I don't know. Like, there's certain ways that you can play it online. There's, like, mods for it now online that you can play. But, like, that's a game that normally is just played on a console. I know there's other fighting games, but...
A lot of fighting games, I feel, are people just play on
tournaments
console.
are always done on PlayStation, usually.
Yeah.
And, like, EVO... which is the big fighting game tournament. That's all. I'm pretty sure everything outside of Smash, which has to be on a Nintendo, is on a PlayStation, unless it's not offered on the PlayStation.
A lot of times they have their own arcade sticks, anyways.
Yeah.
The big joy. They have their own personal joysticks or whatever that they bring.
Big arcade boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like I know. I've also talked about this before, but first-person shooters I 100% prefer on PC.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. You're way more accurate.
There's no equivalent. Like, a mouse with more than 60 FPS or something like that, or 60 or more FPS, is just going to be way more accurate than anything you could ever get.
What was it? You had to turn down a setting in Destiny 2 because you just were like, whoa, what the whoa.
Yeah, I had to turn my aiming down on Destiny. I actually turned it back up since then, but when I first got it, I was like, I don't know, I just was moving too fast, I feel, for like trying to follow enemies as they run across the screen. Like they had it set at a setting where your crosshair was moving faster than the enemies were running if you just like held left or right when you were aiming. So I had to turn it down to kind of like,
Here's a game I think we can all get behind. Overwatch. Overwatch, I feel like, is a good example.
I haven't played.
Except for Sean.
I mean, I like the idea and concept, and I probably would buy it eventually, but I still don't own it.
I think it's on sale I feel like it's on sale right now.
off.
Is it on sale right now?
Yeah, $20 off. It's like $30-$40.
That's not.
I might
bad.
actually, I might consider purchasing.
As he buys it right now.
Well, no, I'm just looking to see how much. Oh, okay, so it's $30. Yeah.
The standard edition is $30. The Game of the Year edition, which you get the extra skins and stuff in. is
Ooh,
40.
extra skins.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would probably get the standard edition if I were to get that.
It's either $10 off or $20 off for the Game of the Year edition.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I actually have played. I don't own it on PC, but I have played it during the. It was like the free. It was like the anniversary event or whatever. I played it on PC, and so I have played it on both console and PC now.
I have as well.
I gotta say, I don't know. Maybe it's just a personal thing. I kind of liked the controller. I don't know if maybe it's also the game
you have
actually
more time
feels
on the
different,
controller.
right?
It's balanced differently depending on whether or not you play on console or PC. They balance the characters completely differently.
Well, how else are you gonna rage at your teammates in chat unless you're playing on PC?
You can you can do emotes over and over, and also put on your headset and just go.
But if you're on PC, you can type at them, you can emote at them, and you can yell at them through your headset. So like you can do all three at once.
See, every now and then I hear Sean typing, and I just think he's talking to his friends, but now I have a feeling he's just trash talking.
You can't do that.
Yeah,
you can't.
on console Overwatch, you don't get the rage-inducing GGEZ that you do on computer when you're losing.
Yeah, that's the whole point of playing a PC game is to say GGEZ at the end of it.
Yeah. And you go, shut up! I have more kills than you!
You didn't even help the team! What were you doing the entire time? You didn't even do anything!
I gotta say, I actually really don't play Overwatch as much anymore, mainly because of how toxic its community has really gotten.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
It's gotten pretty toxic. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, like
that's why, like, every time I play, I'm like, I'll compliment like the other team. I'll be like, "Oh, that was a sweet ult," or like, you know, like, "Oh my God, your Mercy is healing like a boss," or
wow, she
whatever.
she resurrected 4 people at once. Oh wait, nope,
Not
sorry,
anymore, nope,
just
nope,
kidding.
nope.
That's still a really touchy subject, Jordan. I'd appreciate it if you didn't laugh at my pain.
She got nerfed pretty hard. Sorry about that.
She didn't get nerfed.
No,
she just got
if anything,
changed.
she got a real big buff.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice. She's
Yeah.
buff now.
Word, she got some muscles.
Yeah, I just feel like the community. I mean, even at quick match, it's bad now. There's just nowhere to
I
go
know,
and just
it
have
is
fun
really
with
bad.
that game anymore.
It got too popular.
Yeah.
When
Wait,
the
so
when
now
the game first
you're
came out-
hipsters? You think it's too popular now?
Well, no. So when the game first came out, it was obviously like it was really popular when it first came out. Like, we're not denying that. But when it first came out, no one was good. And like everyone was learning.
That's
so, like,
just like
oh
every
wow,
new
that was a
game.
sweet play. Oh how'd you do that? Oh, like good job on that win. Like, we're evenly matched. Yay! And now you have
Reinhardt's
people that consider
OP, he has a
themselves
shield.
like. They're like, I'm level 450, and you fucking suck because you didn't use your ult at 1 minute and 30 seconds into the match when the Roadhog drank his potion thing, and
I can't
it's like, shut up and let me
that.
play the goddamn game.
So. That is one thing I really... That's the thing that I'm enjoying about Destiny 2 right now, is the Crucible mode where I can just run in and I can punch people and they die and I win because they don't know they just don't know the map. They don't know what's going on. So they're just like, whoa, wait, what the... And they're like, yes, I'm good right now. But I know for a fact in like another month or so, I'll go in and I'll join a match and I'll walk 5 steps forward and then turn one step to the left, and then I'll just be instantly dead because someone will know exactly where my head is 2 seconds into the match.
Yeah.
Because that's just,
the case.
that's just how people are eventually with games, Gears of War was really, really bad with that, where as soon as people got to know the maps, they would know exactly what choke points everyone would be at, like, in the beginning of the game or whatever, and then it would just be a freaking camp fest.
Yep. It's nuts.
Yeah.
But I guess that's gonna wrap it up for us. It's been over an hour, which is the longest podcast we've had in a while. So.
Hallelujah.
So thanks for joining us, Sean and Josh.
Absolutely.
Good job, guys. We're high-fiving.
Woo! Oh.
Woo!
We didn't actually high five. Jordan high fived himself. This is
High-five
bullshit.
myself.
Jordan actually just clapped his hands there.
Oh.
Yeah, let's try that again.
Yeah, I'm not falling for your tricks.
All right, good job, guys. 3 high fives.
Yeah. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, if you feel like it, I guess. And we'll catch you on the next podcast. Peace out.
Yippee!